Greetings, fellow humans. Welcome to No Tea with JD. And actually, on this occasion, by the way, if you hear some tap, 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 it's raining. Cats, dogs, possibly lizards, maybe a couple of frogs in Georgia right now. So, it's not as bad as it could be. But it is definitely a rainy day. But today, or right now, I wanted to share with y'all my Christmas book haul. I hadn't gotten to it, so my apologies for the delay. Why am I apologizing? No one knew I did a book haul. But yeah, I got some good books, and I did want to share. I might do a 2017 TBR, but those are never good with me because I never stick to them, so I might just not do that. But I did want to show the different things that I got from different friends, and something that I actually got myself because it was a good deal and I splurged. And that's the only gift that I truly, well, I do get myself socks and stuff. So I get gifts of socks and books and quirky stuff. So, anyways, without further adieu. Let's see where I start. My wife actually got me these two books. I finished Equal Rights, which is book 3 of the Discworld, and now I got book 4 and book 5, Mort and Sorcery. Terry Pratchett he's fun to read. He's fun to read for so many reasons, and I'm really looking forward to those two, especially Mort. I've actually heard a lot of people talk to me about Mort, so I really want to see what the fuss is about. And 4 is my lucky numbers, so the 4th book of Discworld. My best friend got me this little beauty, and it's hardcover, so I can whack anyone that says that you can't talk about Fight Club. I've heard mixed reviews of this. I am curious to see how this picks up from the book. I did enjoy the book. I know a couple of people don't enjoy the book, and I'll probably do the polarizing books and include that one because the opinions are pretty. No one goes meh. Everyone goes like, "Oh, I love this book. It's extreme. It's awesome." Or people say, "Wow, this is a piece of crap." I enjoyed it. I enjoy Chuck Palahniuk. Um, I enjoy him. I read Choke last year. It was disturbing, but it's fun to read something like that. And read something different. Since I like mixing it up with my TBRs. The next couple of books come from a wonderful friend from Canada. I actually do have several wonderful people from Canada who are just wonderful fellow writers, indie writers, or writers, bloggers, booktubers, or friends. And this is from a wonderful friend called Nadia Fortuna. She was kind enough to send me a care package, and she included the following books. I haven't read the blurbs for anything, but again, I like to keep things varied. She knows this, and she sent me accordingly. So first off, The Spy by Paulo Coelho. It looks like a quick read and light. It's almost formatted like poetry because the bleed here is it almost bled to death. Paulo Coelho. I've read some, and I read the Alchemist in Spanish, El Alquimista, and really enjoyed it. And DNF'd Al lado del río, whatever. I don't even remember the title. And just dragged on. So let's see how this one is. I am hoping it's more interesting than the one that I DNF'd. Next one, I actually rarely read biographies, so this is going to be something very new for me, and actually someone that I'm going to be reading more about and of. Mr. Hemingway. I like that it's white. I worry about all my eating and drinking habits while reading, but this is it's lovely. It's that some textbooks smell awful and others smell very pleasant. This one, it smells very pleasant, so I like this one. Thank you. Next one is if you follow this channel or you read my blog or you know me, you know that I'm looking for more poetry, and she's been kind enough to share a couple of books, and this is another book of poetry called Shaler's Fish. Fitch. Oh, the Hispanic came out. Fitch. I like the Fitch. Shaler's Fish by Helen MacDonald. I've never heard of Helen MacDonald, but I've never heard of. She gifted me. I think it was Happiness last year, and that was a very interesting collection that I want to reread. And what I'll be doing with a couple of poetry collections is rereading them and selecting a couple of poems and reading them on this channel, just to share the wealth. Because people are always asking, how to get into more poetry. That's a way. Listen, read. You gotta try different things. Actually, Boho Bookworm requested that I do a video of how to get into poetry, and I'm gonna be doing that soon. When is soon? I have no idea, but soon. Asterisk, however long that takes. The next one is Fever Dream by Samantha Schweblin, and I'll actually read the blurb. I haven't read any of the other blurbs, but I felt inclined to do it with this one. A young woman named Amanda lies dying in a rural hospital clinic. A boy named David sits beside her. She's not his mother. He's not her child. Together, they tell a haunting story of broken souls, toxins, and the ties that bind a parent for a child. It's pretty interesting. Fever Dream is a nightmare come to life, a ghost story for the real world, a love story, and a cautionary tale. One of the freshest new voices to come out of the Spanish language and translated into English for the first time, Samantha Schweblin creates an aura of strange psychological menace and otherworldly reality in this absorbing, taut, unsettling novel. Let's see how long it is. It's less than 200 pages, and it's also spaced out, so it should also be a quick read. And actually, seeing that she writes in Spanish, I'm gonna read this. If I like this, I'm gonna look for work of hers in Spanish, and I'm gonna buy it. Getting my hands on Spanish stuff is a bit challenging, but I'm gonna do another book haul. I'll talk about it at the end of this video of Spanish books and other types of books. I did an interesting book haul. And finally, and I actually think this is the one that I'm most looking forward to from the ones that she sent, because it has my brother Neil. Beyond the Woods, Fairy Tales Retold. Look at the book. New book smell. It includes stories by Peter S. Beagle, Holly Black, Neil Gaiman, Kenneth Lee, Kelly Link, Peter Straub, Jeff Vandermeer, and Jane Yolen, and many more. I like retellings of fairy tales, and I'm actually going to be reading fairy tales when I get my books from Puerto Rico. I've been saying that for a long time, but moving stuff from Puerto Rico stateside is not as easy as you think and not as cheap as you think. So we'll see when I get to that. But I am very curious about this. I like fairy tale retellings. I like when people show me something new from something old. In my writing, I like to do different types of tributes and show kind of influences. I'll talk about that on an AuthorTube video later. Speaking of my writing style and stuff that I enjoy doing. But the last thing that I got, me, myself, and I saw it at Costco, and it was $24. Good. Trying to, there you go. It's upside down. The Roald Dahl collection. I already read George's Marvelous Medicine, and I'm going to be reading a lot of this because last year I read Percy Jackson and the Olympians and the Lightning Thief, and I felt like an old fart. So I started off this year reading Equal Rights, which is not a kid's book, but it is fun. And I read Fortunately the Milk, which is a kid's book, and it was supremely fun, and I felt like a kid again. And I also read George's Marvelous Medicine, which was also a ton of fun. The plan is to read all 15 of the books in this collection, which includes Going Solo Boy, James and the Giant Peach, The Giraffe and the Pelly and Me, The Witches, The Twits, The Magic Finger, Danny the World, The Champion of the World, Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, The Fantastic Mr. Fox, Ezio Trot, Matilda, and the BFG. I've read several of these, but I actually donated those books in Puerto Rico because they were a bit worn, and I've seen that a lot of people donate books that are kind of crappy, and I've been known to do that. There's books that I don't like, and they're occupying space, and someone else might enjoy them or find some use for them. And I said I wanted to donate books that were nice. So I donated the Roald Dahl books. I took the repeats I had from Harry Potter, and I donated those as well, which people rarely donate. And I took others of my favorites, and I said, you know what? I've read this once or twice. I'm not sure if I'm going to read it again. I have a ton of stuff that I want to read, and I really do hope that people read it, so I donated that as well. So that is my Christmas book haul, the things that I either bought myself or got from friends or loved ones. Actually, from loved ones. Everyone who gave me a gift and gives me a gift is probably a loved one. As you can see, there's variety. There's kid stuff, there's dark stuff, there's funny stuff, there's fun stuff, and there's stuff to discover new people, and I think that's what it's all about. All of these books, I'm going to be doing video reviews. I'll actually do a review for George's Marvelous Medicine. I didn't do a review for that, and it was a ton of fun. It was, or maybe I did, I'm not sure. I'll have to check. Anyways, that is the haul, and I want to show you that I will be doing one more haul, and I will be showing some books that I want to read. I'm not going to say it's a TBR. I'm going to show you books, and I'm going to say the plan is that there's no plan, and if I'm so inclined, I will read these books, or some of these books. The goal for this year is 44. I've already read 4, but 4 short ones, and I'm actually working on a couple of indie or semi-indie authors that I'm going to be reviewing and recommending soon. At least 2 of them are all 3. All 3 indies that I'm reading right now are really nice. So I'm going to be reviewing and sharing those as well. I'm also going to be doing indie book recommendations, and I'll show you the cover so it's a bit easier. Since most of what I read indie is on the Kindle, I'll have to do screenshots and show them that way. And I'll also talk a bit more about that. And I could keep telling you about plans for this channel and the other channel. Well, it's the same channel. This playlist or the other playlist. I'm not going to divide it in channels. That's too much work, and I do too much stuff already. So I'm going to keep having fun. I'm going to keep reading. And for now, peace, love, and maki roads.